Good morning. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to my Whatever Wednesday. Today I'm going to show you how to do, our dog just walked under the camera, the tripod, you know, things happen. Today I'm going to show you how to do a pretty red poinsettia. I have this kit in my shop. It's like $49.95. You get everything you need to make it. I've even cut the poly burlap mesh for you with a wood burning tool that keeps it from fraying so much. But before we get into that, we actually had a cold spell this week. For Southeast Texas, 31 is pretty cold. We actually turned on the fireplace day before yesterday. Looks like today's just going to be a rainy Wednesday though, and it's already, I think, in the high 60s.
Judy Steps.
Hey y'all, welcome and thank you for joining. If you're new to my page, be sure and tell me where you're from. Emma Jolie, it's good to see you. I am Julie from Creations by Julie, and I try to do a live every Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be my last one for this year. I'm still debating about next year. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe doing some sort of wreath tutorials, or you know, and starting off very simple if you're interested in making wreaths. So we probably won't be doing a whole lot of cute craft stuff until maybe the end of January for Valentine's.
Sheila Forrest, good morning.
Good morning, welcome. Thank y'all for coming. Today won't be very long because I already have one of them pretty much made up so that you don't have to sit here and watch me do the petals all the way around it. But again, this is a wreath kit that is in my shop. I have the Santa one that we did last week, and then this one's for a red poinsettia. You get everything you need, and like I said, I even cut the mesh for you. So it won't take that long, and I'm also going to show you today how to make some cute ribbon flowers, either to go on your tree. They're really cute on packages instead of using the traditional bows. But let's go over what you're going to get in your kit. And again, when you hop on, say hello so I know you're here. I go back. If you have any questions, just put them in there, and if Ed happens to see them, he'll ask them. If not, I go back after every live and read the comments and try to answer to everybody. I like this format better so that I can concentrate on what I'm making rather than trying to read the comments myself and taking up valuable time. I try not to make any of my videos over an hour long. Of course, you're always welcome to go back and see the replays. If you will share this video on your page to your friends, then it'll make it easy for you to go back and watch it. Plus, it helps me so that Facebook will show my things to more people. They call it interaction, and their algorithm and stuff, that's what they pick up on. So please like and follow my page and share my videos. You also can find me on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search for Creations by Julie, Gwili, and you should be able to find all of them there. Okay, so let's go over what you're gonna get.
Judy Smith said she thinks you and your husband work well together.
Yeah, you didn't see the one where we were arguing when he had pushed live. No, we do really. The problem there is, and he knows that he's a perfectionist, and he wants everything straight. He doesn't want to cut off my head, and I want him to because I don't like to be on the camera. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but I do appreciate him doing that for me because till I get my cataract surgery, I wouldn't be able to read the comments anyway. So, but thank y'all for being here. Okay, this is actually, and I love these boards. They are from Unique in the Creek. You can just go to their website and order them. They have them in packs of 5 on Amazon. You can do flowers on a wire frame, but once I found these plastic boards, that's all I use. And I actually like this smaller one, but you'll see that it makes a big flower. So anyway, you're going to get the board. It's got all the holes on it that you need. I already have a hanger on it for you. You're going to get the tie wraps that you need. I believe there's 36 holes here that you'll be putting. You're going to get about 40 10 by 10 pieces of poly burlap. This is the really good stuff that's weatherproof. Put it outside. The only thing is it frays really bad if you cut it with scissors. And that's the reason I cut it for you, because I use a wood burning tool which seals. It's almost like a plastic feel, but it seals the edges and there's not near as much fraying. Most of your wreaths, all deco mesh will fray, and the different types of mesh. And that's one thing I thought maybe we would do some lessons on, the different types of mesh, the different types of ribbon. You'd be shocked at how many types of mesh and ribbon there are out there. So you'll get 40, you only need 36, but just in case you mess up one or two, you'll get some extra. And then you're gonna get the lightweight ornaments. These are not like the ornaments that you buy in the store. They don't have the little piece on them that comes off real easy. They actually do have a little hook there, but they've got the wire, and you'll just unwire them, and I'll show you how to do that. Put each of them in individually, and then you can glue them if you want to. But you're gonna get 7 of those. You use however many you like. Some people just like 3, and that's okay. There again, crafting is something that's personal. It's what you like, and there's no right, no wrong way of doing it. If you like it, then do it that way. Okay, so that's what you get in the kit. So let's get started. Let me show you how to do your petals. Before you do your petals though, you're gonna want to put your tie wraps on the board. Some people prepare the whole board. I do when I'm doing one. And the way you're gonna do that, you wanna make sure that your tie wrap, that you use the flat edge like towards you. So you're gonna go through all these, see how they're grouped together in 2s. You're gonna go in one side and out, come up the other. Yeah. And these are, I believe, 5 or 6 inch tie wraps, and they're nice and thin. And you just wanna put it together until you feel it clicking. And then so you've got like a opening like this. I'm only gonna do like 6 petals. So I'm just gonna do 6 of these. Like I said, you want to make sure that flat piece is on the inside, because it won't work if you go through the other side. You'll never feel or hear that click. So just put it through till you kind of feel it and it catches. See, you can pull on it and it doesn't undo. So most people prepare the whole board first. It just makes it faster and easier. And you're going to use all of them except these right here in the middle. We're not going to use those right now. Yeah, we will. We're going to double using those. You'll also use these for your balls. So you want to put tie wraps in every single group of 2. You should have 36. Okay, that's 3. And once I show you the petal, it's the same thing over and over and over. And there's several different types of petals. You'll remember, and I'll fold one that way, the sunflower. This is a different petal from the sunflower. You could use the sunflower petal on your poinsettia and it would be fine. It would just be thicker, wider, I guess you'd say, wider petals than what I'm gonna make here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all I need to show you the petal. Put these back in here. You'll get the tie wraps. I'll probably send about 40 of those too in the kits. And I only have 2 kits. Okay, now you remember with the sunflower, or if you don't remember, if you were to go back and look at the video, when we did the petals for the sunflower, you've got these finished edges, and then you've got the edges that I cut that are raw. You want to make sure you always fold it the same way, to where, in other words, like if you're going to do the one for the sunflower, remember we said turn it like a diamond. I always like my finished edge to my left. And then you're going to take it and fold it in half like this, almost like a bandana. And then you take it and you scrunch it from edge to edge, and you make kind of like a goldfish, really. But then you fold the edges in. It's more like a club. Is that what the card is, a club? So see, that makes a wide petal. This was the sunflower petal. You could do this petal on this one if you wanted to. It just gives a different look. But the fold I'm going to show you today, and it could be used for the sunflower. It's just whatever color mesh you have. All right, so you're going to take it, turn it over. There again, I always want to do the same. Once you pick out what feels good to you in your hands, lay your mesh the same way. I'm also going to lay it with the finished edge to my left. You're going to start in one corner, and then you're just going to, remember we did some ruffles? You're just going to scrunch from corner to corner to where you kind of have like a bow tie, okay? Then you're going to take it and put this one over the top of the other one. So you've kind of got two petals. The reason I always turn them this way is because I always want this finished edge on the outside of my wreath. And this just makes it easier. I just take it, scrunch them together, and put it in your zip tie about a thumb's width up, about 1 inch, and then pull that zip tie tight. You can fix your petals if you want to. All right, now I just did that one backwards. I should have started over here, because what I like to do, the more you touch this mesh, the more it would fray. But let me show you, if I do my next petal, once you get going in the way you want to go, keep doing it. But if I was to keep going this way, I'm going to have to touch it. Let me show you. So if I do the same way with the finished edge to my left, flip it and turn it, pinch it together like this, and if I put it in this one right next to it, look what happens. My unfinished edge is over the top of my finished edge. So if I kept going in that direction, I would have to touch every petal and lift it up and put it on top. Okay? Does that make sense? Let me show you if I had started from this end and go this way. Okay, I'm going to do them the same. Of course, it's just what you're comfortable with. If you turn your mesh this way and do it with the finished edge to your right, then you could go that way. But I don't know why, I just like it to my left, because if you have it on your right, when you get to this stage and you do it like this, you almost have to turn the petal over to put it in the thing. But had this been my first one, and you can start anywhere on this outer layer. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the petal? Once you start doing it one way, continue it, because you want those finished edges on the top. Okay, so I'm going to take another one, and you're just going to take it between your fingers. I'm holding the back with 2 thumbs, and I'm just squishing it together and pushing it like this. And then I'm kind of folding it. All right, see how my finished edges are here? If I pick it up and put it on top of this one, and I go this way, then my finished edge is covering, and I don't have to touch that other petal. So let's do a couple more. I like it to my left. This mesh, you know, feels like plastic. It's really, really, once you get used to it, it's easy to work with. I've made flowers in all different colors. Put it in the zip tie about, you want them about the same, about 1 inch up. Kind of fix your petals. Now see, when I do this one, I'm going to have to go underneath these. So you have, I believe there's 18 on the outside. Then you would go to your next row. Bunch them together, put it in there, and zip tie it. And see, I'm going to have to lift this one up and put it over the top of that one. And you figure that out real quick, you know, first or second time. All right, once you go all the way around on this outer row. Then go back and just clip your zip ties off. I didn't bring in, I have a gun thing that does my zip ties, but I just used pliers, clippers, dikes, cutters. Okay, so does that make sense? Once you've got it all the way around, then you go into this next row of holes. They've got it all figured out for you. When you get done with that one, you do the next one. When you get down to this one, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So you do that all the way around, and to save time, so you didn't have to sit here. But if you have any questions about the petal, just type them in there and I'll answer it for you. But you'll see they just all lay on top of each other all the way around. Okay, here's one I've already done. All the petals. Now see, that makes a big wreath, but see, it's just the small board on the back. But look how clean that board is against anybody's door. Now I did on this one, I tried to use maybe like 3 balls or whatever, and so I took a little bit of red paint and painted the zip ties where they for sure wouldn't be seen, and put a little bit of paint on the board. Can you see that? Where you don't see the gray, you just see red. But with using 7, I don't think you'd have to do that at all. But see, you can tell I've just got 4 in the middle, and then these others are just the row after row. So you've got a total of 36. All right, you're almost done. Personally, you could go back and you could put that first layer of green if you're a wreath maker and you have the supplies. I personally don't put leaves on most of my flowers. I just like the big flower. There again, it's a personal choice, but you could add leaves to the outside in a green. You could even use deco mesh or whatever you could find at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby does not sell the poly burlap. You have to order it online. There's a lot of places that carry it. If you're interested in making several of these, you can go to craftoutlet.com. You can go to thewreathshop.com, trendytree.com. I believe there's a place, crinklesdesigns.com, that sells the poly burlap. But you can just do a search on Google for poly burlap mesh. Okay, so now all you have to do is put in the center. They're going to come twisted together, but they're each on separate wires. Just untwist them. I mean, some people possibly you could put the whole thing in, but the easiest way for me to tell you to do it is to put them in individually. And you're going to use the holes in the middle, right here, that you used for those 4. So, I mean, they're way too long. You'll have to cut them off, but just take the balls and one at a time, put them down. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm going in that hole right there by the zip tie and putting it in there. Don't do anything else to it. Just put it in there. Go to the next one. Just put it down through the hole. And I just liked 7. You may not have to, there's like 8 holes, so you wouldn't need every single one of them. And then it's, when you get ready to get them together, it's just going to be what you like. All right, I don't even see a hole there, but I know there's one there. See, some people just manipulate them around, or, you know, sometimes use bigger ornaments and just put 3 or 4. But, I mean, it's not hard. It's just a matter of getting them to go where you want them to go. And then you could glue them if you wanted to in place. Once I painted that red, I'm having a hard time seeing the hole. And they made this wires way, way too long. But I guess, you know, these are used for a lot of different things other than the poinsettias. And you can do the same hole, doesn't matter. And you will just manipulate it. So you're going to have 6 around the outside. Okay, once you get them all in there, you just kind of pull them. Don't yank them too tight, but you want to situate them. Like I want 1 on the top, and I want 6 around the edges. See where it kind of makes like a circle? So once I get it the way I want it, some of them will have to be, you know, tighter than others. Kind of get a circle going there, and then fix this one to where it will be on top. And then I may have to find that one and pull it just a little bit tighter underneath here. There we go. And see what I'm doing is just holding them on the bottom together. And you can always go back and put a little bit of glue, especially on this top one, to where they all touch. And then I'm just going to take all the wires that I've got back here, twist them together until it's the way I know I want it. All right, they're not going anywhere. You wouldn't have to do anything. I probably will go back. In fact, I will just add just a tad of glue in between them so that they're touching. But you don't have to do this step. Like I want this one touching this one. A little bit here. This will just keep them from moving any at all. And just hold them for a second. Get your... They're very lightweight and just a light plastic. I mean, they're not glass or anything that's going to break. And then all you would need to do, I mean, just make sure you like the way it looks. I think that looks pretty good, pretty centered. And then see what I have here on the back. And all I'm going to do is just, you know, once you've twisted it a few times, you want to cut it off. You can do a couple of different things. You can cut it real short and put a piece of ribbon over it or felt. I like to just kind of take it and tuck it back in one of the holes. And that's just so it doesn't scratch anybody's door. So you cut it a little bit shorter than where you're going to poke it back through there. Let me get that one a little bit shorter. And then that way there's nothing sharp back there that's going to scratch the door. And that's all you do to it. I pulled those two loose. But that's how fast you can make one. I mean, it doesn't take that long at all.
She smells so it's beautiful.
And I love the red poinsettias. I have one done in white that has blue balls on my website because blue is the color this year. And you know, you can use this petal or the sunflower petal to make any flower you want, any color. Pretty much the gold balls are for the poinsettias, but you could use anything in the center. I do a lot of different flowers. If you look on my Etsy store, I have a lot of flowers in different colors. And you can mix and match. If you wanted to make one that kind of looked like candy cane or something, you could do red and white and alternate them. But you do need, I think, the poly burlap to do the flowers. Okay, and then like I said, still, look how clean it is on the back. I would just put like my business card right here. And that's it. I thought my head was cut off. Okay, that was quick and easy, but I have 2 of those kits in the store. Now I want to show you something a little bit different. And they're called ribbon flowers. And it's how you make a little flower out of ribbon. And Ed's going to try to go down and zoom in a little bit on this because it's might be hard for you to tell what I'm going to do. I made these last week. This is made with a 1.5 inch ribbon. And they're all done the same way. It just depends on what size ribbon you use and how long you cut your ribbon. This one is with a kind of a burlap, really thick ribbon. And I believe this one's cut to 6 inches, 6 or 7 inches. This one was 5. And it's smaller because the ribbon is smaller. I haven't tried doing it with ribbon that's not wired. I just think the stiffer the ribbon, I think the prettier the flower. These could be put on your packages. They could be put on your tree. They could be put on garland on your mantle. So of course I did the red buffalo check, really popular. So I'm going to show you how to make these. And I'm going to use a Christmas ribbon in this red and green. And I cut one piece so I could decide exactly how long I wanted to do them. And all you're going to need is some ribbon. Doesn't take much at all. You're going to cut
Barbara
6.
Deshawn wants to know, can you buy the board locally or do you have to order it?
You know, some Michaels carries the boards. But the last time I was in Michaels in Rosenberg, they did not have it. Now you can order them off of Amazon. A kit, I think of 5. But no, it's pretty much unique in the Creek's design. You could order it straight from their website. I don't think any store but Michael's actually has a contract with them and sells them in the store. Now, I did hear, have not seen them, but I did hear a rumor that Dollar Tree has, in fact, I think they're in the middle of a suit about it, but they have somehow copied it and are selling them in their stores. I don't know if they're made out of cardboard or if they're made out of plastic or what, but I know Lori and Dave at Unique in the Creek, I mean, they have this patented. I don't know how Dollar Tree can get away with it, but I have heard that. I have not seen them, so who knows. But yeah, if you're probably cheaper, especially if you have Amazon Prime, doing the 5-pack from Amazon with free shipping, because they're based out of Canada, and if you don't buy a good bit, shipping can get pretty expensive. But hey, Barbara, give me a call if you just want one. I've probably got some extra out there in my she shed. Okay, so to make the ribbon flowers, you're just going to need a little piece of wire. I don't measure it. It's what you're going to use to either tie it on your tree or your package. Is all. So I cut a little piece of wire, and actually this one is 10 inches, we'll see. Then you're going to need 6 pieces of ribbon of your choice. I actually like the 2.5 inch ribbon, and the bigger you cut your ribbon, the bigger your flower is going to be. So I'm going to cut these at 7, and you need 6 of them. So that I already did 1, that would be 2. You can cut them individually or you can do them like this, fold it. 2, that would be 3. So I don't need but 5 more, so 4, 5. That should give me 6 pieces. And then you just cut them. Now this ribbon is where it's hard to tell what side is what. Like this one, you know for sure which side. You can use, see like this one, you could have used either side. This one has a little bit of things. So depending on your personal taste, I like the ones where the edges of the ribbon are up. if you can see the edge. Like this one, if you'll notice when I put the button on, the edges of the ribbon are down. They're on the other side. So it doesn't matter. You do them all the same. But like the biggest thing, and where you might mess up a piece or two of ribbon, you know, we're used to taking our ribbon and folding it and cutting it in what they call a dovetail, where the longest piece is where the wire's at. To make a flower, you want your flower to have a point. So you're actually going to make the fold the longest point, and you're going to cut in this way. It's where, see, you have a point, and sometimes when you get going, you forget and you cut it the wrong way. So go from the fold to the wired edge, and you can do 2 or 3 at a time. But you want your flower to be pointed on them to make your petal. I have found that the stiffer the ribbon, the prettier the flower is. This is kind of a cheap ribbon and the wire wants to come out. I think the scissors are getting dull. It doesn't have to be perfect. Flowers aren't perfect. Every petal's a little different. Okay, once you get those cut like that, you're going to take each one, and this is how you make one petal. Now see, like I said, it's not easy to tell what side's what, so I'm not going to worry about it really. You're going to take it and fold it in half, like this, and then make a crease, okay? Then you're going to take this one, fold it back, down. You know, like we used to make the fans and how you fold them, so you're going to make it down. Then flip it over and bring this piece down to where this is what you've got. You've got the point, and then both of your edges are together. And what I do is I just take a clothespin to kind of hold it together. You're going to do each petal that way. Fold it in half. And with the stiffer ribbon, you can really make a crease. Fold it back down. Flip it over and fold the other one back down. And then just put them together. You want to kind of try to get your ends. Sometimes you need 4 hands, or use 2 clothespins. And what I do, you're going to make 6 of them. And I do 3 on each clothespin. That clothespin's wanting to stick. Fold in half. And I kind of do see one side is a little bit darker than the other, but not too much. Fold it down, flip it over, fold it back up. Find the middle of it. Try to put your middles together. All right, see that one? I flipped it and I put the ribbon down, the edges down. Make sure all your edges are in the same direction. Then when you get ready to put your center on, you decide if you want the ribbon edges up or down. All right, it gets too difficult for me to do 6 on one clothespin, so I usually do 3 and 3. Fold it in half. Try to get a little bit of a seam. Fold it up. Flip it over. Fold it up. Kind of find the center. Any questions? It's really super easy. It's almost like the little folded fans. This is the only place you kind of want to make sure you get your ends fairly close so that you don't have one side of your flower that's way long and the other side short. Okay. 6 pieces. These were cut to 7 inches. If you want a bigger flower, just play with it. Try cutting them to 10 inches. The smaller you cut them, the harder they are to work with, really. Okay. All right, so there's 3. That makes 6. Okay, and what you're going to do is take your piece of wire, try to find the middle pretty much, and wrap the wire around really tight. And then whatever side you decide you want as your top, make sure, you know, that the wire is, of course, at the back. And this one, I want the red up. So I'm just going to take it and twist it a couple of times. Oops. And I don't know, I got it exactly in the middle, but I think it's close. Okay, then what you're going to do, where's my wire? There it is. The wire is what you're going to use. Unless you need a pipe cleaner. Now is when you could probably stop and just put a pipe cleaner under here and twist it. So you're going to take them and fold them together. Let me open that wire a little bit so I can lay it down. Okay. If I lay it down flat, I can work with it better. Okay, you're going to take and kind of, this is where if it's stiff ribbon, it really helps. Right it towards your center. Take those 2 pieces and fluff them out. Like putting your tops of your ribbons together and going into the center and fluffing them out. Some people, a year or so ago, I saw this and they only used like, I think 4 or 5 ribbons, but using 6 makes them a lot fuller flower, and it's not so hard to get the edges together in the center. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking the 2 pieces of the ribbon at the top, kind of putting them together, spreading them out. That's what makes your flower. And you probably still could adjust it. Like this one looks a little bit shorter, so I just pulled it a little. You can do this with any color ribbon, any type of ribbon. Now when you get it all spread out, see that one looks a little long too. Let's see if it's this one. I don't think so, but okay. You decide, do you want this as the top of your flower? Or do you like the way that side looks? If you like the flatter side, then just take your wire around to the other side. But I like the red sticking up a little bit. And here's where you can just get creative. You can put anything you want in the center. Gems, buttons. I used buttons on all these. 2 on these, well, 2 on all of them. I really liked doing the burlap. I think it's really cool looking. Well, I didn't have any red ribbons for this one. So I thought what I would do, I had these little glitter balls. I think they're called fillers, and you can get them at Hobby Lobby. So whatever you decide you want to use, I love buttons. And all you're going to do is take it and there, just glue it right on the top like that. Does that make sense? And then you have your, I'm not going to glue that one because honestly I stole it off of a wreath back there because all my Christmas stuff's in the shed. But anyway, that's what it would, and it would be pretty as a center for a flower. But these would be pretty like on packages, on trees, on candles. Take it and wrap it around a candle. But anyway, it's just a real simple, easy way to make some ribbon flowers out of any kind of ribbon. Do y'all have any questions about the ribbon flower? You just have to play with it. For example, like this, like I said, is a cheap ribbon. And if you can see right here, it's going to fray on the edges. So I probably wouldn't make too many out of this, because the more you touch it and move it around, you could spray it with an acrylic that would probably seal the edges. But and then put whatever you want in the center. Make it out of any color you want to. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had for today. I'm really excited about the live next week. I actually watched a lady this last week take fringe and put it on a board and make a tree. And I found some of the cutest fringe yesterday at Hobby Lobby that I'm going to use. I have to play with it and practice on one this week before I show you on a live. But that's what I plan to do next week unless things change. And they can be put on any kind of board or canvas, but they're really cute. So that's what we're going to do next week, is a Christmas tree made out of fringe. You can use fabric, whatever. Sky's the limit. Just use your imagination. So that's it for today. Not too bad, 40 minutes. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. I'm jealous of those of you that got cold. I mean, got snow. Of course, I wouldn't have to work out in it, but I love snow. But stay warm, stay dry if you're in Texas. And I will see you next Wednesday. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll try to go answer them. And be sure and like and follow my page and share this video with your friends. Thanks. Bye.